Hello, Rob here from the Flanagan Homestead. I have a little bit of a chicken issue today. I'm not getting eggs from my chickens, and my chickens are old enough to do it. And there's a couple reasons this may be happening, but I think I may be getting to the bottom of it today. So I've had lots of chickens, and coyotes came and killed off a bunch a while back. And so the few that were left, because they just went through a traumatic experience, the egg laying is not very well for a while. They don't lay very well for a while, and that's to be expected. But it's been a while now, and they've been safe, and I'm still not seeing a lot of eggs. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I have a laying box in there that I have literally had thousands of eggs laid in because it's nice and dark. It's the type of tunnel that they like, but they are not choosing to use it. So if you haven't had chickens before, you may not know, and if you've had chickens before, you do know that you allowed a free range, that they will try to find dark corners somewhere else other than your laying box sometimes and lay eggs there. And so I have boxed off many areas that because I'm on slope property, there's a lot of times little tunnels underneath things, and the chickens will try to get in there and lay their eggs. And so I think that's probably what's happening. And because of the slope, I have a deck back behind here that on the back side that I feed the goats on. That's a covered area, and a lot of times, well, baby goats hide underneath there, and I have no baby goats right now, so that's a little back underneath there. And I'm pretty sure the chickens are trying to get back up underneath there and lay eggs. So I'm going to go check that out, see if I can find eggs. If they are, I'm not going to grab them because I don't know how long they've been in there. Well, I will clean them out, but then I'm going to try to block that off and then put some golf balls again back in my laying box, simulating eggs and trying to get the chickens encouraged to lay their eggs back in the laying box. So the last 2 days there's been an egg laid in this hole, which is very unusual to be out this in the open. So I'm guessing that after having gone under this deck, they filled up the spot back underneath the deck and they just started laying eggs out here. The hay that fell off out of the feeder and got stepped back created a little net here, has been gotten wet through the sprinklers and dried out. It's created a little net. It's almost a wall. Oh, look at that. I pulled that out. We have the jackpot already. I can see why they wanted to lay eggs in here. The deck that's low over here, and it gets lower and lower, and then it's covered with hay, creates a perfect laying tunnel. I've always said the chickens like laying tunnels better than boxes, so I need to break all this out so that it doesn't have the laying tunnel, and then I need to block this off so they can't get in here as easily, and they need to go lay their eggs in the chicken tunnel. So this section has a little bit of old fencing covering it up, keeping it in place. The eggs are very small. Even though there's a lot of them, this is an incredibly small egg for the chickens that I've had. And it's not just one or two. These are small eggs. Okay, unless I do something to stop it, the chickens will just keep laying in this exact same spot. You could fence it off, you could fill it in, you could do multiple different things. I got to get out of here and get to a meeting, but I might do a better fix later on. But I don't want to permanently fence this off because this is an area I have goats, and when the mothers deliver a bunch of kids, for the first few days they're with them, and then after that, when the moms go off to nurse, the babies instinctively, year after year after year, have always found, they climb up and go up underneath here and hide and sleep while mom's gone. It's a very safe spot. And then when the mothers come back, the kids come out, they nurse and everything and spend time with their mom, and then they come back and they hide up here. So this is actually a very safe spot for my baby Nigerian dwarf goats. So what I did is I just took an empty feed bag that was sitting in the barn and some straw that was laying on the ground, and I just filled it up. And I'm going to just shove that, and so I don't want to leave the facing that way. I'm going to shove this into the hole, and now it just doesn't have that nice big open space for the chickens to fit in. It'll force them out somewhere else. There's a good chance, having seen this type of thing before, they'll just move a little bit that way. There's a decent hole here. I need to cut out this extra fencing, this old fencing that's holding this up and creating a little box there, and then encourage them back into the tunnel. Now to get them to lay in the tunnel again, like I said, I've had literally thousands of eggs laid in this 3-story laying tunnel. What I did is I put some fresh straw in here. I also put some golf balls in the traditionally favorite spots to lay eggs and to encourage them in there. This has been the #1 spot. Usually there's tons of eggs right here. One last step in trying to get the chickens to lay in the laying box. I am not going to let them free range today. They always free range, but I'm going to lock them up in the coop, make sure there's water and feed in there, and then when they go to lay, they'll have to find a new spot, which will naturally be the laying tunnel. And then once they lay an egg there, they usually want to create a clutch, so that's what chickens naturally do. Lay an egg a day in the same spot, come back when there's 8 or so, and sit on them and try to hatch them. Obviously, I don't have a rooster, so they're not going to fertilize, but the hens don't realize that, and so they still try to create clutches. So the hardest part is going to be getting them to lay the first egg in that box. Once they do, they'll probably come back and put the next one there tomorrow as well. So once again, thanks for joining me on the Flanagan Homestead, where Christmas trees are my business, teaching including horticulture is my job, and outdoor projects are my passion. Hope to see you again soon. Be blessed. Eggs are coming.